Hello, Todd Clemens, Okeechobee Livestock Market, and here's your weekly market report. There seems to be a lot to talk about. Last week, that storm just annihilated parts of the country. It came in right there at the Big Bend area, and they're getting pretty used to having those storms come in and pretty sick and tired of it too, I would imagine. But it wrecked them out up there pretty good. Flooding, no power. The storm went on up into the Carolinas, Tennessee, all up in the southeast, and the news is calling it catastrophic events, catastrophic damage in biblical proportions. A lot of dead, over 150 people claimed dead from the storm, from the impact of the storm and flood. So it's really, really bad. And that's what kind of is on all of our hearts and minds right now. The market report kind of takes a back step to that. So let's just remember those people and help in any way we can, financially or or physically, however we can help them. Reach out, and it's the good thing about these bad events is you do see people helping other people, and I know there's a lot of people from down in South Florida that are going up to the Panhandle and areas to help those people rebuild and get their feet back on the ground, on the dry ground, hopefully. But and as that weather and the storm goes, it does impact the prices here at the market. And kind of a little strange deal here. Monday we had a pretty good run of cattle. They're about 1,250 or so Monday, and we didn't know if everybody, all the buyers were going to be in or not. As it turns out, they were all in except for one of the kill plants. The slaughter plants there in Augusta, Georgia was not in because their power was out. So they weren't buying any cattle. They had actually had to move some cattle out of their facility and relocate cattle just to kind of get water to them and get them fed because they didn't have power and trees were down, and it was pretty bad there at FPL. Nobody was hurt, but they did have to do some things to keep the animals safe and all. So they were not participating on the sale there Monday and Tuesday. We had the other buyers, Brown, Florida Beef, and Cargill all were participating, so we had 3 slaughter buyers still there. And I think they kind of maybe filled their orders up there Monday, and cow prices, slaughter cows and bulls were quoted 3 to 5 higher on Monday. And then we come here Tuesday expecting about the same number of head, ended up with less than 1,000, around 950 or so on Tuesday, and cows and bulls were quoted $3 to $5 lower. And we had the same 3 buyers participating. FPL was still not in. So those guys may have filled up their orders there Monday pretty good and kind of backed off of them on Tuesday. But still, all in all, cows were selling up in the 120s to 130. Off a little, yeah, but still not that bad. Had some bulls bringing up there around $1.50 or so, I believe. But it was just kind of a strange week with all that going on. Also, the longshoreman strike, which is on the East Coast, Savannah, Georgia, the ports are closed down. I don't know about Jacksonville, probably Fort Lauderdale, maybe, and then all on the West Coast, California, the longshoreman strike. You guys may remember this happened back. It's been a while. Bush was in. I think it was 2002, 2003, along in there was a strike that kind of affected the cattle market a little bit because those boats haul the imports and exports out of California there to go to Japan and South Korea with these meat exports that we have, and so that's kind of going to get backed up. I was just kind of reading the latest information on that, and Biden has always claimed here lately that he is pro-union, and it's right there with the union guys, and so this is kind of backfiring on that because the union's standing strong, and they're saying where it's been said that they just want more money. They're afraid of the AI technology. They're afraid of being replaced by a machine, and they're asking for more money. And they haven't had a pay raise, and they're kind of blaming the inflation rates for that. And so they're stuck. These longshoremen, the union and the federal government's not stepping in. They said, no, y'all figure it out. And so here we are. Those ships are not moving. The workers are on strike, and we're just going to have to see how long it takes for them to get that settled out. Back there in 2002, when President Bush was in, there's a federal act that the government can say go back to work or else, but the Biden administration has chosen to stay out of it and to let these guys negotiate it out the best they can. The last strike lasted 11 days. We'll see if this one gets solved quickly or not. So that on top of the storm, Iran shooting missiles at Israel. What else can we talk about? I tell you, it's I don't know, it's gone crazy. We had the vice presidential debate last night. I don't know that anybody really cared. I even forgot about it. So I don't know if that had anything to do with anything. But anyways, we made it through Monday and Tuesday with feeder prices. Feeder calves held their value. They were quoted pretty steady. It looked like to me that the heifers are being discounted again. I just looked on the report here Monday, I guess it was. Had a really good string of steers. Number one steers weighing 466. From 450 to 500 pound, in that range, they averaged 466 and brought $2.82 a pound. And that's on the steer end of it. And on the heifers, we had a pretty good jag of those heifers weighing 460. No, it's 476, I'm sorry, 476, and their net average weight was 258. So that's a pretty good difference right there, from 283 on the steers to 258 on the heifers. So that margin, that difference, that discount for those heifers is kind of sneaking back in. And I don't really know what the answer would be right there, but they're not as close as they were before. Feed's cheaper. That's going to help cattle in the feedlot. The cost of gain's not going to be as high. Feed's cheaper. Interest rates have come down a little bit. The meat's moving pretty good. Packers are not making their profit margin has come down because they've had to give up a little bit more money, and they're having to pay a little bit more money for cattle coming out of the feedlots, which is good for the feeders and the producers. Hamburger meat has backed off, and that's kind of why these cows and bulls have kind of backed off on their price too, because that demand for the ground meat is less, and just kind of overall demand right now, kind of getting out of September, October. There's no holidays in the near future, so it's kind of like we're just in a kind of a lull, in a waiting range for this meat to move. The next thing coming up, of course, naturally would be Thanksgiving, and then we'll start seeing some of the higher ends, the prime ribs and those holiday cuts of meat coming back up, and packers are kind of gearing up for that. So all in all, it's pretty good. There's just, on top of everything else going on in the world, we're able to bring cattle into the market, and there's a place for all of them. They all get sold, some of them for more and some of them for less, depending on the quality and what they are. But at the end of the day, you bring them in, we sell them, you come and pick your check up, and right now it's a pretty good check. So what else is going on? Bull sale October. We're already into October. We're in the fourth quarter of the year, if you can believe that. That's nuts. So we've got a sale this Friday. Sale starts at 1 p.m. It's the Deer Valley Angus bull sale. We'll have lunch at 12. The sale will start at 1, and it won't take us long to breeze through 52 head of bulls. People are asking what I think they'll average. I guarantee it'll be more than what they averaged last year, and that's about all I can tell you, but it will be higher. We see what these cows are bringing and these calves are bringing, and just know that be ready for a kind of a sticker shock on some of these bulls, especially those ones with the high EPDs and those top-rated bulls. A lot of these bulls that JP brings down here from Deer Valley, of course they're from Tennessee, but they weren't in the storm. They just missed it, and they were in good shape. They had no problems. Bulls have been here all week. A lot of his bulls do have low calving, low birth weight calving rates. The EPDs on them are good for heifers, and then they also have good weaning weights, good yearling weights, and you can use those same bulls on your cows. So that's kind of a dual purpose bull. And if you need an Angus bull, you need something for your heifers, and then you want to use them on your cows, you can use these bulls for both things. So that's good. That's what I like about JP's Deer Valley Farms Angus bulls, and they'll get out there and work for you. That about wraps it up. As far as top prices, high prices of the week, Likes Brothers. I was just with Flint yesterday at ball practice. That's crazy. And he was the last lot. They brought some little calves in here to the market, made it in time for the sale. We ran them across there, and one of those little fellers topped the market, and it was a heifer calf. That heifer calf weighed 165 pounds and brought $4.50. And that little calf was bought by Enterprise, and we appreciate you. So that's Likes Brothers right here in Okeechobee. And on the slaughter cow side, from Cocoa Beach, right up the road there in Cocoa, right there next to the Atlantic Ocean, Fran Fleckinger topped the cow market with a 1,345-pound cow that brought $1.35. That's your market report. If you like them, thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. We like bringing information to you. We'll tell you what we think, right or wrong, but it's what we think. Thank you.